Hey guys, welcome back to 18th tutorial of Java Selenium series. In this tutorial, as I promised in my last one, that we are going to cover up a very important topic, that is TestNG integration with Java Selenium. Okay, so TestNG, what exactly it is? Is it a tool, framework, a kind of a library? What exactly it is? So I would say it's a combination of all of them. It's a kind of a tool, it's a kind of framework, it's a library which you will be importing Java as well. So TestNG is a text next generation tool used with only Java for a unit testing, which has a more capabilities or a more resources as compared to the other tools in the market like JUnit and NUnit. So now my another question arises: what is unit testing? We have heard about functional testing, we have heard about smoke testing, we have heard about API testing, your database testing, ETL testing, right? What is unit testing? So guys, unit testing is nothing else but it's most commonly used by developers, which actually help them to figure out if they have done any kind of mistake or their particular chunk of that code is working fine or not. Right now, as an automation tester, what we do, we don't automate everything from start to end in a single go. We create minor level, a kind of, we divide our whole project into different sprints or a different chunks, right? So we take that, suppose I have a application called HRMS application or a kind of a railway management system where you will be logging in, you will be like buying a ticket, you will be searching for the trains, their schedules, their runtime schedule. Okay, you will be closing, you will doing the payment, you will be extracting your ticket, you will be downloading it, you will be also canceling it later on. Right, there are multiple factors in that whole railway management system. So we don't do anything like from A to Z. We just designed everything in a go. We created login page as a module. We created the home page as a B module. We tested each of them thoroughly. And that testing of chunks and testing of each separate module separately is known as unit testing. Once your unit testing is done, then you'd go ahead with the integration testing. Like my login page is done, my dashboard is done. Now I want to combine both of them. Okay, that's an integration testing. And then once your UI is ready, now you want to interact it with the database via APIs. So database team, your backend team is working separately. Your front end team is working separately. Okay, the middleware team is working separately, right? So these three teams come together and integrate the whole system, which is known as system integration testing. Okay, so now you understood the three main kind of common terms which we use: unit testing, system testing, and system integration testing. Okay, so that's it. TestNG tool which help us to automate or to kind of test our different test cases. Okay, so now how come TestNG is helping? I talked more respective towards the developer, that developers will be doing the unit testing. Then why us? Why as a QA we need a unit testing? So guys, for the automation as well, you don't design everything or you don't automate everything from start to the end. You have test cases which a manual QA team or you own are writing for it, right? And then you are actually automating those test cases. So you don't take all the test cases together and create an end-to-end flow in a single night, right? So in the same way, we create them in chunks and then we integrate together. So integration is also possible using TestNG. You can group them together. So there are multiple advantages of TestNG. So let's talk about advantages. First advantage, first of all, you create a unit test, which is your test cases, right? By using annotations. Okay. Then second, now we have different set of annotations. Yeah, to just quickly summarize, we have at the rate test, we have at the rate before test, at the rate after test. Each of these annotations comes up with their own advantages, own functionality, and own kind of a introduction, like how they are going to use. We have before suit, we have after suit, same goes with before class, after class, same like that. Okay, so we have different kind of annotations. We have also have an annotation called data provider annotation, okay, which helps you to integrate with the data with the with different type of Excel file, CSV file, and so on. Then we have another method is grouping. Now, grouping means your integration, which I was talking about earlier. That now you created the unit test. This is basically for creating your unit test. You also tested them. Now you want to group them together and you want to run them together and see how they are actually behaving. Like login is first of all you tested login separately, first of all you tested dashboard separately, but now it's time to integrate them. Now let's see once if user is able to log in whether it's able to navigate to the dashboard and dashboard is working fine or not, right? So that's how we do the grouping. In the same case, if you want to run the smoke test, you want to run the sanity, you want to run the regression using TestNG, you group them together. Okay, you group your multiple tests together and create a regression suite. And once you hit the regression suite, it will what no matter how many test cases it has grouped, it will run all of them on the basis of the priority order. Okay, we'll be talking more about that too. Now, third advantage is parallel testing. By parallel testing, I means that suppose I have a regression suite which I need to test twice, like either on your Chrome and the H Chromium as well. I can do that as well. Suppose there is a kind of a two different suits. Okay, you have a suit one and suit two. You want to run them parallelly just to save your time. You can also do that. In the TestNG XML file, you just need to parameterize for this parallel testing, and you are good to go. Okay, you just need to set up the thread count, invocation count, and you are good to go with the parallel testing. Okay, then we have reporting. So TestNG comes up with the predefined report like Selenium. Whenever you executed Selenium Java, right? In the previous sessions, we never had a chance to create a report. But TestNG, after integrating TestNG, will be having a user like a kind of a default report, an HTML report you will be having. Okay, which will be not that much. I would say not that much good with the UI part or with the explanation, but yeah, a high level one, very basic one. But later on, we'll be talking about or integrating it with extent reporting, which will give us a very, very good presentation, a very good layer of reporting, and actually help us to, or a business users who are completely unaware about your exactly what's actually happening. They actually see the report, they actually see, okay, this was actually performed, this went past, this went fail, and this was the actual issue. That extent report allow us to customize it. That's the power of extent reporting, which we'll be integrating in further sessions. Okay, so now the fifth point of TestNG is like you can also do the kind of parameterization. Okay, test. Which means by parameterization, I mean like there can be two different set of parameterization. One can be a group, sorry, your data parameterization, which can be like you're passing the parameters, okay, or during the runtime. And just for an example, suppose you have created a launch WebDriver. Okay, you have created a method called launch WebDriver or setup method, which will be launching your WebDriver. Now you want your user to give him the parameter to give the test it the parameter whether he or she want to go ahead with the Chrome, Edge Chromium, Firefox. It completely depends upon their choice, right? So your test should be that much robust that it should accept the runtime parameter and accordingly it should launch that particular driver, web driver. So that's how the TestNG give you an advantage of parameterizing your test as well during the runtime specifically. Okay. Now the sixth and the last is prioritization. By prioritization, I mean like suppose I already mentioned above over here as well, or grouping as well, that will be executed in the priority order, which means that you have suppose you have 50 test at the rate test annotations. So how will your test ng will understand which test he need to actually execute first? So you need to give the priority. Priority can be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, like that, and so on. So priority order will work on the basis of the ID which you will be providing, an integer number, right? Priority is equal to 1, priority is equal to 2, and so on, which I explained earlier. So that's how the prioritization works in TestNG. Now, talking about the most important part, how to do its setup. The most important thing, how we are going to set it up. What is the configuration methods? How I will be going to set up the TestNG in my Eclipse. Okay, so let's quickly jump to Eclipse. Okay, so guys, I have already created a TestNG package with the TestNG plain Java file. Okay, nothing much, no public static void main, nothing. Because in TestNG, you don't even need public static void main because TestNG comes up with its own library and it actually take your at the rate test annotation on the top priority. Okay, and it works with that. Okay, so no matter how many at the rate test annotations we have on the above of your method, that method will be kind of considered as a public static void main in a very simple way. I can say you can understand, like, no matter how many at the rate test you have, okay, in this particular file, you can have plenty of at the rate test methods in this particular file alongside with their particular respective methods. That each method will be considered as a public static void main for you, and compiler will understand which particular method it need to run first is based on the priority order which I have explained earlier. Okay, but now question is how to actually get the testng. So you need to do this, click on this help button, you need to go to Eclipse marketplace, then what you need to do is you need to search testng over here. Okay, once you search it testng like this, it will show you this. I have already installed it. So what you need to do is you just need to click on install. It will start downloading all the files. It will start installing it. Only one thing you need to remember is it will throw a pop-up message, a kind of a pop-up window, I will say. Okay, where you there will be a button called select all, and that window or a pop-up window name will be trust authorities. Okay, once you select all and hit the next or hit the trust button, I trust it, then automatically it will download all the libraries which are required for the TestNG. Okay. Once everything is downloaded, it will prompt you a message that it need to restart the Eclipse. Do restart it. In the moment once you are back, then what you need to do is the next step, guys. This is also very important one. You need to go to project. You need to go to properties. You need to go to Java build path. Go to libraries, and then add library as a TestNG and hit next, finish, apply and close. Once you do this, once you do this, you will see that under window preferences, guys, you will have a TestNG option which will be coming up. Once this option is available, then you are actually good to go for the code. Okay. So as I said, I need a annotation called at the rate test. See TestNG annotations. It will auto import the TestNG annotation test. Now I need to do is public void method one, suppose. Okay, and I'm just writing uh, method one executed. Okay, now I've created one test and I told you you can have n number of tests. This is method two, and again I will say method two executed. And if I run it now, if I run it, it don't require public static void main. It will run. See, your method one executed, your method two executed, and it shows me two tests were run, out of which zero failure, zero skip, and we have two pass. So this is the reporting which I was talking about with you earlier. And see on the right side, you have a TestNG report as well, where it shows, okay, how much second it took, how much second that the second method took, and what is the summary of this whole. Okay, so this will be actually very helpful when you are actually running a very, very huge suite, okay, which has n number of tests, and then you can verify and you can also validate which particular method is working faster and which particular method is actually slowing down your whole performance. So you can work on the performance testing of that too. Okay, improvisation of it. So now I told you that it depends on the priority order, right? So what you need to do is do the priority over here, and it is empty the integer value. Suppose if I give the priority over here as 1, and now if I give the priority over here as 2. Now what will happen? Method 2 will actually run first, and then it will go to method 1. See, method 2 ran first, and then it went to method 1. So priority actually matters. The, the more focused priority order you will provide the compiler, it will accordingly run all those methods in that way only. So login should be having a priority 0, and then it will go with the test by test like priority. And then that's how you create an end-to-end testing suite. Okay. So that was about the setup. That was about the basic example of a TestNG, how you can run a test, how you can use the @test annotation with the priority tag, and how you can execute it. Okay. So this was all about the setup, a quick introduction. And in the further sessions, we are going to cover up more, or we are going to deep dive into the TestNG concepts. We'll be talking more about other annotations like @test before test, before suit, after suit, all these and their usage. And we are going to convert our previously created Selenium classes into a TestNG format so that you can understand in a very, very basic way how actually it works. And also, we are going to use this testng.xml file which I have created. I'll show you how to create it, how to work with it, so that using the XML file, you can run your multiple Java files together, either in a parallel mode, either in a sequential mode, or using the grouping technique. Okay. So I'll be showcasing you a lot of things in the next session, and the next session is going to be very, very, very important. So don't miss it. So if you are viewing this channel for the first time, you have not subscribed it, do subscribe it, do hit the bell icon, and don't, so that you don't miss any technical update or any technical lecture which is important for you. So, guys, stay tuned and see you in the next one. Until then, keep practicing, keep coding, and keep educating yourself. Thank you so much. Bye.